Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and a faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Sorry.
I'm just trying to correct an anomaly so that we can move from the right direction. Yes.
Honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Judas Dawa, area MCA,
Yes.
Matu, and the lead of minority side. Honorable Speaker, while we were coming here, this house was informed that we are to receive Mr. Speaker, and we are shocked to see Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform you this is the second time this anomaly is repeated. And you know, our proceedings are live. Everybody's watching. And we may confuse the electorate of Machakos and the residents who are watching us. We have students in the gallery, and they might be confused whether in this assembly we call ladies Mr. So I was just trying to inform you so that you can correct that as we kick off. We kick from the right note. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Minority Leader. And it is well noted. I'm sure the Sergeant at Arms have heard. If it was a mistake, I request that you correct it next time. Don't call a madam a mister. There was a reason why they were separated. Mr. and madam. Thank you so much. Next order.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Thank you, honorable members. I have a communication to make. Good afternoon, honorable members. Have the following communication to make on visitors in the public gallery. We have visitors in the public gallery. Honorable members, I wish to acknowledge the presence of teachers and pupils of Kalulini Primary School in Katangi Ward who are here on a learning exercise. Honorable Felix Ngui, who is the MCA for Katangi Ward, will get an opportunity to welcome them when he will be giving his notice of motion. Thank you, honorable members. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
May I welcome Honorable Felix Ngoi to proceed and give his notice of motion. And you could talk about our visitors. Honorable Ngoi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I wish to take this opportunity to acknowledge the pupils, teachers, and parents' representation from Kalulini Primary School, that is within my ward in Katangi Ward. Madam Speaker, Kalulini Primary School is where I've schooled, and the little English that I speak here in the assembly, I learned it from there.
Oh.
And I'm very proud of them, and I would wish to appreciate them for see it fit to come and learn about the assembly procedures with the new curriculum of the CBC. I hope this is going to be very beneficial to them in their learning. So, thank you so much for coming. Na karibuni sana. Madam Speaker.
Before you proceed, Honorable Felix Ngui, I just want also to take this opportunity to welcome very warmly the teachers and the pupils from Kalulini Primary School to this house. This is a house. This is a house of order and house of procedure. It is called Machakos County Assembly, and this is the chambers. We make laws here, that is legislation. We represent the citizens and Kenyans from Machakos County, from different wards, and we also oversight over the executive. So that is what we do here today. We are debating, we may make laws here, we may move motions, we may do a lot of things here, but that is our business. So I ask you to really enjoy this afternoon session and learn one or two things and feel really welcome. And later we may have a photo to take with you. Thank you very much, members. Thank you, members.
Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 174C of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that one of the objectives of devolution is to give powers to the self-governance to the people, to enhance the participation of the people in the exercise of powers of the state and making decisions affecting them. Aware that the fourth schedule of the Constitution of Kenya mandates counties with water and sanitation services. Further aware that the county government of Machakos has been able to drill boreholes, and this has positively impacted the residents of the county. Acknowledging the management of these boreholes has not been well done, and most are cases where a borehole is rendered to non-operational because of the simple mechanical problem. Cognizant of the fact that some boreholes are vandalized because there is no proper management structure to oversee the project, and this is a clear waste of public resources and a compromise to service delivery. Aware that this assembly enacted the Machakos County Water and Sanitation Act 2014, which provides for a framework on provision of water and sanitation services, creation of water boards and water service providers, waterworks, water management systems, and water conservation. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give a notice of motion that this House resolves that the County Executive Committee member for the Department of Water, Irrigation, Environment and Climate Change formulates and forwards for consideration for the County Assembly regulations to operationalize the Machakos County Water and Sanitation Act 2014 with a view of creating borehole management committees to manage the existing public boreholes in the county. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ngui, for that notice. May I also invite Honorable Catherine Chair to give a notice of motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Catherine Chair, Special Elect on WIPA, and the Vice Chair, Environment and Natural Resources. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 42 of the Constitution accords every person the right to a clean and healthy environment, that Article 67(1)(d) also mandates that states to encourage participation in the management, protection and conservation of the environment. Further aware that deforestation is one of the main contributors to climate change. Not that Machakos County has been spared by the effect of global warming and climate change as a result of deforestation, among other aspects, deeply concerned that there has been persistent destruction of trees and vegetation along the road, reserves and roadside during road construction, leading to adverse effect on the ecosystem. Concerned that studies have shown that benefit accumulated from roadside tree planting include better soil formation due to shedding of dead leaves, increased water quality by reducing sediment flow, reduced erosion, road beautification, flood control as the trees slow and absorb water runoff, weed breaking, providing important pollinator, habitats, improving people's health and protecting crops. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this House resolves that the county government of Machakos include a component of tree planting in all road network designs and also make it compulsory for roads contractors to replace any tree harvested during road construction upon completion of the project. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
May I call upon Honorable Dickson Maundu to proceed and make that statement. Mheshimiwa Maundu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Dickson Maundu, representing Kangunda Central Ward. Madam Speaker, I wish to give a statement on the following. Statement on the status of implementation of Machakos County Cooperative Enterprise Development Fund Act of 2021. Honorable Speaker, aware that Machakos County is a coffee growing area with 4 main sub-counties, majority in coffee farming. Aware that coffee is one of the major cash crops in Kenya and a key source of income and employment for many families, both directly and indirectly. Noting that the global appeal and increasing demand for quality coffee from Kenya is an assurance of increased demand. Aware that coffee farming in the county is to a great extent undertaken by small-scale farmers through the cooperative movement, commonly referred to as farmers' cooperative societies, that farmers have been able to sell their coffee through them. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 41, Suborder 2C, I wish to seek a statement from the Chairperson, Committee on Agriculture, on the following concerns. 1, whether the department has provided adequate extension officers to conduct, Madam Speaker, whether the department has provided adequate extension officers to conduct soil testing in the coffee growing areas within the county for proper advice on soils suitability within the county. And 2, what the department has done to improve market access and enhance marketing efficiency, as well as promote the value addition to coffee, for example, packaging and branding coffee as a Machakos product, and have a certification to meet global demands. 3rd, what is the status of the regulation for operationalization of the Machakos County Cooperative Enterprise Development Fund Act of 2021?
Thank you, Honorable Member. Perhaps I could seek whether we want to ventilate on this matter. Members, proceed, Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Again, my name is Judas Bilindawa, the area MCA, Matu Ward, and before I give my views on the business before the House, I want to take this opportunity to welcome our visitors here. Honorable Speaker, Kalolweni Primary School in Katangi is also in Yatta sub-county, and I'm a member of Yatta. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome them to this Lancaster House and tell them one time, the learners, one time you'll be seated where we are sitting today. So what I would request is that you be serious. You be serious with what you are being taught by our most able teachers. I'm very sure we can have legislators there. So welcome and try as much as possible to develop interest also in this issue of legislation. Honorable Speaker, on coming back to the business before the House, I want to start by thanking the Honorable Member of Kangundo Central, Honorable Dixon Maundu, for coming up with this noble statement. Honorable Speaker, Machakos has been known for coffee growing. But of late, Honorable Speaker, of late, the farmers, most of them, have lost interest in this coffee farming. And this is high time the Assembly should come in to rescue the few farmers who are left doing the business, and maybe try as much as possible to recall those who have already existed that activity of farming or coffee growing. Honorable Speaker, from the statement, the member for Kangundo Central is seeking to get information from Chairperson Agriculture, who happens to be a member of this County Assembly. Honorable Speaker, I'm of the view that this is the high time we should amend our standing orders to allow the CCM to appear before this House and give us the answers that we are requesting. An honorable member who does not have information, who doesn't have information. So we need to amend the standing orders. As you are all aware, and the County Assembly is a replica of the National Assembly. And the National Assembly has gone that far. They have already amended standing orders they have requested. They have allowed them to come. So in our case, I'm also proposing that the concerned committee should come with that recommendation. Then, Honorable Speaker, the issue of coffee. The member is talking about selling. Honorable Speaker, 10 years ago, I was in business. I was a director in Kianzavi Farmers Company Limited, which is one of the major companies that grow coffee in this county. I served from 2004 to 2011. And by that time, Honorable Speaker, when our milling are buying 1 kg of coffee at 20 shillings, we were selling our coffee directly to international market. Each kg at $3. $3 that time was 120 times 3. So 1 kg was going at 360. Honorable Speaker, we have middlemen here who are trying to consume the sweat of our farmers. And this is the high time we should take the forefront, or we should lead to ensure that we protect our farmers. So, Honorable Speaker, I support the statement, and I would wish when the CEC is coming or is bringing the report, we are supposed also to be notified to know exactly before the business in the order paper. Before we left the last assembly, we passed this regulation and there were funds. We want to know whether the funds are still there or they have been exhausted. And if they were exhausted, we want to know how the funds were spent. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Kavyu, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and welcome to the pupils of Kalulini Primary School, together with their teachers. I'm standing to support the statement, but I'll also request if the same can be expanded, not only to focus on coffee farmers, because in areas like Machakos Central, where is the ward where the assembly is located, we have many farmers who are doing avocado. And for years, our grandmothers have been exploited because they sell the product at 5 shillings, 10 shillings, but when the same is taken to Nairobi, the same avocado goes for almost 20 shillings. So as an assembly, there is need for us to come with a regulation so that we can protect our farmers and also to ensure that they are getting value for engaging in farming. And as the committee looks at it, I will recommend that even the executive side looks at a possibility of us having a marketing agency or a board that will be tasked with ensuring that they secure market for our farmers, either locally or abroad, to ensure that our people are not exploited by middlemen and brokers who end up buying the products at a throwaway price. And as a member, I'm a victim of the same. Sometimes back I used to do agriculture, and bearing the high cost of buying farm implements, when the product is ready for market, you could try to sell the product, but you end up selling at a very low cost because the people who are available, the only people who pose as the agencies, they are just groups that have organized themselves, and the farmers suffer a lot. So as an honorable house, I'll request that we look at that, and I think this is in line with the governor's manifesto of ensuring that Machakos people have money in their pocket and also food. So implementation of this fund and this act of this fund and also a better regulation will ensure that our people are motivated to engage in the agriculture business, and also at the same time they are able to live a good life as a result of having a direct connection with the marketing or with the buyers of our product. I support the statement, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I then go ahead and have this statement committed to the Committee on Agriculture, and to take also into consideration the concerns raised by members that they expand the same to include other produce like avocado, to also observe the issue of having a board maybe to manage that produce, and also include the issue of farm implements. Of course, there is the issue of the manifesto, money in the pocket and food on the table by our governor, so that we can align it with it. So this statement has been committed to the Committee on Agriculture to report on or before 2nd of May 2023. Thank you, members. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of motion on creation of borehole management committees.
May I call upon Honorable Felix Ngui, Katangi Ward, to proceed and move the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 174C of the Constitution of Kenya, 2010, provides that one of the objectives of devolution is to give powers of self-governance to the people and to enhance the participation of the people in the exercise of the powers of the state and in making decisions affecting them. Aware that the fourth schedule of the Constitution of Kenya mandates counties with water and sanitation services, further aware that the county government of Machakos has been able to drill boreholes, and this has positively impacted the residents of the county. Acknowledging the management of these boreholes has not been well done, and most are cases where a borehole is rendered non-operational because of the simple mechanical problem. Cognizant that the fact that some boreholes are vandalized because there is no proper management structure to oversee the project, and this is a clear waste of public resources and a compromise to service delivery. Aware that this assembly enacted the Machakos County Water and Sanitation Act 2014, which provides for a framework on provision of water and sanitation services, creation of water boards and water service providers, water works, water management systems, and water conservation. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that this House resolves that the County Executive Committee member for the Department of Water, Irrigation and Environment and Climate Change formulates and forwards for consideration by the County Assembly the regulations to operationalize the Machakos County Water and Sanitation Act 2014 with a view of creating borehole management committees to manage the existing public boreholes in the county. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I wish to call upon Honorable Douglas of Masi Ward to second my motion. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Honorable.
Madam Speaker.
Yes.
I stand to support the motion. To second the motion.
To second. Thank you very much, Honorable Douglas. Then I now propose the question that this Honorable House resolves that the County Executive Committee member for the Department of Water, Irrigation, Environment and Climate Change formulates and forwards for consideration for the County Assembly regulations to operationalize the Machakos County Water and Sanitation Act 2014 with a view of creating borehole management committees to manage the existing public boreholes in the county. I now invite members to debate this motion. I'll call upon Honorable Ndeti to proceed and start us off.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand here to support this motion. It's very pertinent, very important that as a county, we come up with a regulation on how we are going to run future boreholes sunk in our county. Madam Speaker, I remember in the last assembly, I was involved in renovating or rehabilitating a borehole that had been sunk by CDF, not even the county. And because water is given to residents for free, of which I believe there is nothing free in this world. The borehole, the water pump broke, and because the water was being issued for free, there was no money to buy or to replace the water pump. And that made the residents go without water for years. So I think it's very high time that our county, through the executive, comes up with a regulation so that in future, even if water is sold for at least 1 or 2, 3 shillings, that money can be kept aside for rehabilitation or replacement of any parts that have been worn out. So I am fully in support. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ndeti. Honorable Ndambuki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Ndambuki, representing Kathiani Central Ward. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support the motion that has been tabled by Honorable Felix Ngui. And Honorable Speaker, in support, I wish to submit that in addition to getting regulations, Honorable Speaker, it is important that we also peg some cost on the water that we give to our residents. Madam Speaker, this will go a long way in ensuring that once boreholes break down, there are available funds to repair the boreholes in good time. I will cite an example, Honorable Speaker, in where I come from. There's a borehole that has been dysfunctional for the last 2 years. The local residents are suffering. But look at it, Honorable Speaker, if we had some funds somewhere, then the management committee would have sourced for these monies and repaired the borehole in good time to enable the residents continue getting services from the borehole. With this, Honorable Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Ndilo, then Honorable Douglas, then Honorable Ndawa. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for such a chance. My name is Honorable Anna Ndilo, Special Elect by UDA, and I stand here to support the motion of the creation of borehole management committees. I want to say that water is the epitome of life, and you know drilling boreholes is one thing and management is another. There are so many boreholes across Machakos County, but they are not operational simply because we do not have such a committee that can oversee the efficiency and effectiveness of the water. The boreholes are there, yes, but due to poor management, you find out that they are collapsing, siltation is there in the boreholes, and you find out that our people in Machakos County are not able to get water from this borehole. So I support the formation of such a committee to oversee the effectiveness and efficiency of water for the sake of the residents of Machakos County. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Ndilo. Honorable.
Information, Madam Speaker, before giving Mheshimiwa.
Yes. Proceed and.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker. This being a house of procedure, no member is supposed to speak twice in one motion. When Mheshimiwa was given opportunity to second the motion, he spoke. So if you give him another chance, you will be violating the standing orders we are kept. So I'm requesting that you allow me to continue, because I was in the line.
Okay, it's well guided. I'm sorry, Honorable Douglas, you spoke. You lost a chance for another opportunity to speak again. Now I'll have to give the opportunity to Honorable Ndawa to proceed. I'm sorry though.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is good to follow the law.
It is, it is.
The wise man says a change needed in a grandson has to begin with a grandfather, coming downwards. If you say no smoking in this compound, and you are the end of the father, you are the family, and you start smoking, those one below you will not follow the law. Honorable Speaker, yes. I stand here to second the motion, and before supporting the motion, I want to congratulate our most able member of Katangi for coming up with this noble motion. In fact, the motion has come at the right time, when we are all aware that there is need to salvage the remaining boards and ensure that we revive the other ones which have stalled. Honorable Speaker, the issue of water is provided for in the Constitution. Article 43, sub-article 1D of the Constitution is very clear. It says every Kenyan has a right to clean and safe water. And the part D of it, Honorable Speaker, says and in adequate quantities. So if you consume 10 liters of water, you are entitled to that 10 liters of water. Honorable Speaker, as I support the motion, I also need your interpretation. When we talk of right, a resident has a right to this. Does it mean he should get that product or that commodity free of charge, or is supposed to buy it? Because the Constitution is silent. It says he has a right. And it has not talked about selling to that particular consumer or getting it free. My simple interpretation, and I know we have English teachers here, and we have rules, we have teachers even in Bangladesh. If we have the right to live, nobody sells you that life. Is that clear? Yes. You have a right to do ABCD. Nobody sells that product to you. So we are at a limbo now, Honorable Speaker, as a house.
But where do you buy the life from?
Huh?
If we were to buy life, because we have a right to life,
Yes.
where would you have bought it if it were to be charged?
Honorable Speaker, I've said we are now relying on your wisdom and your guidance.
Okay.
Because when we talk of a right,
Proceed.
we need to be very clear. Honorable Speaker, both the national and the county government have done a lot of work to ensure that the residents of Machakos and the Kenya get enough water. And Honorable Speaker, as Mheshimiwa is saying in his motion, these balls are done and they are left unattended. Nobody to attend to those balls. You just, the time you launch the water, the department moves away from that and the water is left for Mwananchi to take it. Nobody is left to be in charge. So Mheshimiwa is trying to ensure that at least we have a caretaker, a team to ensure that the water is consumed well and it does not go to waste. So, Honorable Speaker, I totally agree with Mheshimiwa that there is need, because we cannot start creating the committees without the regulation. He's seeking that we approve that we come up with the regulation. So, Honorable Speaker, I support that we have this regulation, and also, as I support we have this regulation, I will also request, as you direct on the next course of action, we may have such motions, very many in this house, because now we are talking of one item, water. We have roads, we have energy, we have other projects. So I was of opinion that we amend or we substitute the word boards to county projects, so that every project is taken care of. If it's water, we have committee for water. We have another committee for that particular road, for that energy, and I'm very sure by so doing, Honorable Speaker, I'm an expert what we call I'm a linguistic officer, and I know how to interpret a speech, whether spoken or by movement. So, Mheshimiwa, your leader, kindly calm down. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So I was saying.
I did not get that.
I'm saying.
There was a.
Yes, I could see that some communication, not verbal.
Madam Speaker,
There was an illegal discussion taking place when you're making the submissions.
No, I just wanted to inform the majority leader that if he needs to bring to the House a substantive motion,
Yes.
to include that and not just sneak things into someone else's motion.
After all, it is not his motion.
Thank you, Madam
Isn't
Speaker.
it? I'm putting words into your mouth. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
We end an opportunity to propose the amendment, and you know the standing order says if at all you want, that is standing order number 52. If you want to amend a motion, you notify the Speaker within 2 hours. But the order paper was just supplied immediately we came to this house. So there was no even single 1 hour. So the delay is not from our side, it is from whoever is supposed to ensure that the members get the standing orders, in the order papers in good time.
Okay.
But it's a proposal. It may take place, it may not take place, but it's good that we take care of every project within the county.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Take it as an advice. Before Honorable Majority you speak, I would want to mention something perhaps that Honorable Minority Leader has mentioned, and it is about right to water. Right to water is it's a right like any other. Unfortunately, right to life is given by God free of charge. Human beings don't give anything free of charge to the best of my knowledge. So water may not be free, and if we make it 100% free, we may have land ourselves into problems because, one, we need to manage those boreholes. We need, they come with a cost of maintenance and all that. So at the end of the day, even when we are operationalizing the regulations, or is it, no, I'm mixing up things. Even when we are finding a committee to man this, we need to know that it comes with some cost implication. So members, my urge is that we don't make water 100% free, as it were, because of the cost implication attached to its management. Thank you, members. Honorable Majority, the real one, proceed. I'm even surprised that even him.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mheshimiwa Minority Leader is my friend, and from time to time we confuse each other's title. Yes, but thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you.
First of all, I want also to welcome the pupils of Kalilone Primary School and the teachers and the parents' representative for finding time to come and see what we do here as their representative. Also want to inform you, Madam Speaker, I was a student not far away from them. I was a student at Ekombe Secondary School so many years ago. Okay. And I also want to inspire them. I'm telling them that despite what people perceive, even in those harsh weather conditions, you can make it. I'm not only seeing MCAs, I think you can do better than Mheshimiwa Ngoi and become MPs, senators, president, so that, you know, the perception that in those areas, and also, Madam Speaker, in those areas we don't have great leaders. Yes. So, karibuni, and I hope you are going to take home something in as far as learning what we do is concerned. Coming back to this, Madam Speaker, if I can just go back to 10 years since devolution, I do not think we have had a department that has consumed county resources as the water department. We like classifying ourselves as ASAL, arid and semi-arid area. Even in the previous government, they emphasized a lot in providing water for the people. Yes, I think to an extent they provided, but the management aspect of how to get the last drop to the people was left behind. So there is infrastructure. Statistically, I think we are talking about more than 1,400 boreholes. 1,400 boreholes that has been sunk over the last 10 years. But the question is, if you go to the ground, how many boreholes are working now? Maybe it could be less than 30%. The rest are lying idle because of very small, you know, cost. A case in point is in Machakos Central Ward, just around Garden Hotel area. We have a borehole that is lying without, you know, it has water, but the pump, because of 100,000 shillings, around Ciro's board, it broke down a month ago. It was providing a lot of water to a lot of people. Broken down again because of less than 100,000. So I think we need to make sure that this amount of money that has been sunk into provision of water, we see value for it. Just the other day, when we were doing the ceilings for the various departments, this house raised and increased the ceiling for the water department. If you look at how much we have sunk and how much we are intending to put in the water department, are we setting up ourselves for losing value for money? So I think the committees, the management committees that Mheshimiwa Ngoi is proposing are going to be very important in making sure that we get value for money, and most important, we get the product, and the product is water. So I stand to support this motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Majority. Honorable Mary, then Honorable Kaloi, then Honorable Kaviu. This is the second time you want to speak. It was the first one. Okay. Then you'll be the third, in that order. Proceed, Honorable Mary.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for catching my hand. My name is Mary Kituku, representing the Great United Democratic Alliance Party. I rise to support this motion on creation of the management committees of the boreholes. Now, with every great blessing comes a great responsibility. We have these boreholes that have been sunk before, and more to come. My concern rises on their security. We have bought so many equipment time and again due to the fact that there's no security, like the pumps and the solar equipments, which I think we shouldn't be doing that over and over again. So when I support that we have these committees, I know what I'm talking about. In Mudini Estate, the blind school, there was a borehole that was sunk by His Excellency Alfred Mutua, but it's not been operating because the pump was stolen, the solar system was stolen, and we have water, but you're not able to get it for our people. So I think it's in order to fast create these management committees. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mary. Honorable Kaloi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Jeremiah Kaloi, a Three River Township Ward. I wish to second the motion, but allow me to say 1, 2, or 3 things. One, as the saying goes that water is life, we have experienced during this drought a lot of issues with water. We know that the county has done so many boreholes, but the issue of management arises. My suggestion is, as we put the management committees, or we propose the management committee, we also think of ensuring that training to these committees is catered for. Because in other areas, we have the committees. We have some committees who are handling these boreholes. But what they lack is the training, the know-how, and the expertise on running the boreholes. So I stand to support the motion. Thank you, sir.
Very important points there. I agree entirely. Mheshimiwa Kaviu.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to support the motion because water is a critical life basic need for human being and also for animals. And it's very evident. If you go across the county in all the 40 wards, what honorable members are talking about is evident. Case in point being what on a majority leader has highlighted, and it's the same case in Kinanie. You can count almost 10 balls that are non-functionable because of small breakdown that will otherwise been catered if there was proper management of those balls, and also if a small fee was being charged for every jerrycan of water that is being consumed, then whenever there is a need for any small repairs that are not do not require a lot of expertise and huge resources, those funds can be utilized to cater for that. And also, as we also look at the motion before us, I would also like to recommend, because we not only rely on water from the bores, there are other sources of water that are very critical, e.g. dams. There are also springs that needs to be taken care of. So instead of having a management committee for every single source of water, because tomorrow, after we have approved this, maybe another honorable member will come with a proposal that we have a committee created to take care of our dams. And a case in point is Kinani Ward. There is a dam that used to supply an area called Muvwike. The dam goes by the name Kiluli. Because of adverse effects of, because people are doing sand harvesting in public dams. Madhatan is the same case. If you go to Wadhia in Kinanye, and because there is no single person who has a responsibility of controlling that, you find with the time, today Kiluli Dam is a past tense because of effect of sand harvesting. People are doing sand harvesting, others are doing their own things there. So whenever it rains, all that soil that has been accumulated over time was washed down the dam. And today, if you go to Kiluli Dam, is a plain field. It can no longer hold water. So we want a committee in every ward that will take care of all those water resources, that if it is a bowl, they ensure it is well taken care of. If there is a spring that provides water to people, that committee will be responsible, so that we ensure that all our water sources across the counties, because there are areas you will find there are not many bowls. And also, that committee should also be mandated on ensuring, nowadays people are doing bowls like kiosks. You find a distance of less than 50 meters. You'll find, for instance, if it's Katangi has a bowl, and in 10 meters, you'll find a neighbor of his also has a bowl that was approved by the Department of Water. So sometimes we ask ourselves, after sometimes, is the water table going to support the many bowls that we have? So those committees will be very critical, because it will dictate, and maybe in some instances give advisory. If people are closer to each other, maybe they can come with a framework how that water will be shared, and invest in network of ensuring the water gets to people, instead of having 10 or 20 bores within a very small radius square. Because with the time, all the bores will dry because the water table will be exhausted. So it's a very critical committee that honorable member proposes, but I support with a recommendation that we can expand to cover more and ensure that also we also get value, because at some point you might find this committee will require some small motivation. So we also need to ensure that they have enough work, so that at the end of the day, when they are being remunerated for that, for the work they are doing, we also get value as a county. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kaviu. Those are very important points to be included there. I now wish to call upon Honorable Ngui to invite to move, sorry, to reply, sorry. Yeah, to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank members for supporting my motion. And I wish to state that water being one of the basic commodities that we use in our lives daily, and the Machakos County has done so well in sinking boreholes within the county. Madam Speaker, you will realize that in every ward, for example in Katangi ward, if the government of Machakos have done like 20 boreholes, you will find that there are only 3 boreholes which are functional to date. That is because of lack of good management or proper management of the boreholes. Madam Speaker, you also realize that once a borehole is done in an area, there is never distribution to other areas. That water is used by only the people around the borehole. So immediately we get these committees on board, we'll be having an opportunity whereby the committee can sit down and decide or design how the water is going to be distributed to the other areas. Madam Speaker, one scenario in my ward, there's a borehole that was done in 2014 within my ward, that in area called Ngombolo. And that borehole got stalled in the year 2018 because of a spare part that needed only 45,000. That borehole has been stalled up to last month, when personally I went down and procured myself the part for the water to start, for the borehole to start functioning. And now the people of Ngombolo are taking that water out of my money from my own pocket. So in a situation whereby we have a committee that is in place, and maybe these regulations that the CC is going to come out with, they will include a small fee that our people will be charged, even if it's 1 shilling or 2 shillings for a jerrycan of water, so that that money can be used to repair the small things that get spoiled within the borehole. So, Madam Speaker, I wish to thank all the members for supporting my motion, and I urge the CC member in charge of water to move the speed and come up with the regulations so that we can pass them in this house and they become operational in managing our water resources. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Before it resolves that the County Executive Committee members for the Department of Water, Irrigation, Environment and Climate Change formulates and forwards for consideration by the County Assembly regulations to operationalize the Machakos County Water and Sanitation Act 2014 with a view of creating borehole management committee to manage the existing public boreholes in the county. As many are of the opinion, say ayes. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. The House is now adjourned to Wednesday, 5th April 2023 at 10 a.m. in the morning. Thank you.